What is shaking, guys? Shane here, ShanesRetroGames, and today I got another Can He Fix It? Today we're looking at a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which has really bad drift in the joysticks. So first things first, cracking into this guy in typical Nintendo fashion, lots of screws to remove. Once we get this back plate off, there is the battery compartment, and what I didn't notice at first was that there are two screws that were hiding underneath that battery. Once we do get those screws out, it's fairly easy to get this thing open. Just want to be very careful when you get in there because there is a ribbon cable connecting the two parts. And here you can see the motherboard with the joysticks. Here I'm just taking pictures so I can show my buddy what I found. Now, removing the motherboard itself, there's just 5 screws, not too hard. Big thing is not removing those rumble motors. I did not want to do that. And this little white piece right here just comes out. It's just a diffuser for those LEDs right there on the board. Little wiggling and the board came loose, and there you can see the solder pads for those pins. Alright, here you can see I'm prepping those solder pads with some flux, and then I just hit them with the soldering iron, trying to get that solder, a little melted down at first. This solder did not want to melt, and I had a little bit of trouble once I started hitting it with the desoldering gun. So a few of those pads went really well. What I ended up having to do is go back in and hit it with some of my lower temperature solder, and then I was able to get it, and had to hit a little bit with the desoldering wick as well. So for this last pin here, I just added some more solder and then just wiggled it out. Came out fairly easy after that, and then just cleaned up and then put in the new joystick, which was fairly easy. Just line it up with the pins. And then just solder it in. So for the second joystick, I learned from the first one, and what I did is I actually flowed some of my lower temperature solder into those joints, and it made it so much easier to desolder. Alright, with our new joysticks in place, all we have to do is put the motherboard back into the housing, and then my buddy wanted a custom retro housing, so we're going to put that in there and then test this thing out. So I got my Switch here and syncing up the controller. Just wanted to test the joysticks, test the buttons, make sure everything was still working. And as you'll see, the joysticks work beautifully. They pop right back to place. They move exactly how they should. And what better way to test out the controller than to play a game? Here I'm playing some Pokemon Shield. Been having a lot of fun playing this, so why not give it a whirl with the Pro Controller? So there you go guys, Pro Controller is fixed, those joysticks are working beautifully, there's no drift. Hopefully my friend will be very, very happy to have his controller working again. And yeah, there you go. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.
Thank you.